And we are on the air. We welcome you to the M.T.N Monster Truck Nation MTM2 series at the Colorado State Fairgrounds in Pueblo, Colorado. I'm your host, Tom Todd 774, along with Legend of Wee 92.
Hello, everyone. Good to see y'all. How's everybody doing?
I think everybody's doing pretty good, Cody.
Yeah,
Anyways, we got an incredible field of trucks, and I think Google Chrome didn't crash. Okay, we're good.
Whew, that's good.
Because that holds my bracket. That's the program that holds my bracket.
Yeah, you need that.
Yep, and here is what the bracket looks like for tonight on a rainy night here at Pueblo here. Tonight's competition.
Cool.
There's my mouse pointer. All right. Need to
I'll
go
let
back
y'all.
to need to make a little edit here. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Just a naming error on my part. All right. All right. So here are our. So here's the field of trucks going through it. We'll go by pairing in the first round. In our very first race, in our very first round, looking at one side of the ladder, it'll be Eric Meager behind the wheel this weekend in the Bigfoot Ford, Cody.
Yeah, that's a legendary monster truck that we know and love. That is the original one.
Coming into this event as the points leader on the M.T.N calendar. We'll look at the points just a little bit later. A little bit later, his opponent will be out of Cocoa Beach, Florida, Ronnie Cochran in Raging Steel.
Oh wow, that battle out of rage on when it's time for them to go head to head.
Oh yes, a great Ford versus Chevrolet battle right there.
Yeah.
In our second first round pairing, looking at this side of the ladder, it'll be Gary Porter out of Wadesboro, North Carolina, in the Carolina Crusher. He's looking to break out of that, looking to break out of the top 10 in points. He wants to move a few more spots, Cody.
Yeah.
Mr. Consistency won at Union Grove one event ago, so we'll look to see how he does here at Pueblo, Colorado. His opponent will be Mike Peterson in the Troublemaker.
Oh wow, that sounds really cool. That's like
The
another nice matchup right there between
yep,
these other trucks.
yep, and yep, the leaf springs on the Troublemaker might play a big factor here today.
Probably could.
Paul Schaefer out of Portage, Indiana, in the Monster Patrol Dodge. He's got that new Dodge running very, very well. His opponent will be Nick Jackson out of Colorado in the Rocky Mountain Thunder.
Oh wow. I haven't seen that track in a while, and I've heard that name before. That's gonna be an interesting matchup right there.
Yep, Rocky Mountain Thunder. Our first look at him on the M.T.N Monster Truck Circuit.
Pretty strong
Robert
as well.
Park. Yep, Robert Parker behind the wheel of Grave Digger here this weekend. Good looking truck, got a great reputation. This is Gravedigger number 3, I believe, by the way.
Yeah.
And his opponent, but Robert Parker's got a tough opponent, though. He'll go up against the always dangerous Dodge, Mark Hall, in the Executioner.
Oh yeah. That's another classic matchup right there.
All right, going to the other side of the ladder now. It'll be Fred Schaefer out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois, in the Barefoot Dodge. Barefoot second in points. Cody, your thoughts on this truck?
Oh yeah, that's another great track there, and it has been a long time rival to Bigfoot, of course, for a long time.
Yep, yep. Bigfoot and Barefoot 1 and 2 in the standings. Barefoot also Barefoot has 5 wins compared to Bigfoot's 2, but Bigfoot has been more consistent throughout the year.
Yeah, that I noticed.
His
Been doing
opponent
rather
will
well.
be his opponent will be Alan Pizzo out of Brentwood, Tennessee, in the Predator.
Another great one, and that one is popular in Monster Jam too.
Yep. A lot of heavy hitters coming from the Monster Jam series in this M.T.N. weekend here at Pueblo, and this one's no exception. Bobby Z, or Zone, short for Zollner, in the Monster Mutt, the 1951 Chop Top Mercury, out of Aurora, Illinois.
Yeah.
And his opponent out of Waynesboro, North Carolina, a protege to Gary Porter, Brandon Harrington, in the Vet King.
Ooh. Now that sounds like a cool matchup right there. I
Yep, the
haven't seen them race against each other before.
well, vet, well, the vet, well, Monster Butt and Vet King have met at least a few times from 2003 to 2005, and they meet again in 2025. So we'll see how
Oh,
things shape up here.
yeah.
All right, sorry. John Seasock in Sudden Impact, the big Ford out of Frackville, Pennsylvania. His opponent will be David Morris in the Equalizer.
Cool. Now that's a matchup right there I want to see.
Morris and Seasock have faced each other before most notably on the Pro MT series in the fall of 2000.
Oh, cool.
And last but certainly not least in the last race of round one, Sky Hartley, the teammate to Bigfoot in the Snakebite Ford, and he'll have a tough opponent to go through Richard Patterson out of Madisonville, Kentucky, in Rampage. Your thoughts on these two?
Oh, yeah. These two are classic trucks here, and to see them race against each other, it ought to be a fun one to see.
Yep. It'll be quite the show here at Pueblo. Quite a few heavy hitters here. Will be few headers here, and we will be back in just a moment with the point standings and first round action. And welcome back to Monster Truck Nation MTM2 series. I'm Tom Todd 774, along with Legend of Wee 92, calling the action here today. And here's a look at the top 10 in points after the first 12 events. Bigfoot top of the heat. top of the heat, followed by Barefoot. Gravedigger sits third. Carolina Crusher sits fourth. Executioner, Moss Patrol, and Executioner Bark Hall rounds out the top five. Moss Patrol, Rampage, Moss Patrol, USA 1, Rampage, Little Tiger, and Wild Thing, surprisingly, round out the top 10.
Wow.
Cody, your thoughts on the points here? Point situation coming into this event here.
Well, everyone's been doing great so far, and only one of them can make it out on top at the very end of this season.
Oh, yes. Gravedigger and Carolina Crusher are looking forward to move up on the scoring pylon. Some of these Rampage is obviously going to move up because USA 1 is going to drop back for not being here. Executioner, Moss Patrol, and Rampage all look to move up the scoring pylon after this weekend at Pueblo.
Yeah.
And we go back to the bracket on my Google Chrome window as we are now getting set for round 1 action.
Yep, and we're so ready for Bigfoot and Raging Steel to go head to head right now.
Yep, that we are. Eric Meager out of Pacific, Missouri in the Bigfoot Ford. Bigfoot coming in as the points leader, but that team's got a very narrow points lead over Fred Schaefer's Barefoot. So a lot at stake coming into this event for the Bigfoot team. His opponent will be Ronnie Cochran out of Cocoa Beach, Florida in Raging Steel. Steel, good Chevrolet versus Ford battle right here. Bigfoot powered by a 572 cubic inch Ford engine. Raging Steel powered by a 540 cubic inch Chevrolet Merlin. So these two will definitely be going head to head. All right, here we go. 1,800 horsepower on the Bigfoot truck, 1,400 horsepower on the Raging Steel. So a lot at stake here coming into this event. Bigfoot currently running with shallow cut tires, but Bigfoot with an 1,800 horsepower engine, I'm not sure that's going to be the best setup coming into this event. He'll probably get that team will probably get that motor detuned as the night goes on here. Anyways, round 1, race number 1, Raging Steel up against Bigfoot.
All right, we're in for fun times now. Okay, the monsters have it on lead.
Yeah, that they have.
Bigfoot's in the lead
Bigfoot,
so far.
Bigfoot keeping it nice and low. Oh, they get together on the other end.
Ouch. That's going to leave a mark.
Was anybody out of bounds on that run? That's what I want to know.
All I gotta see is who was passing out the halos there.
And apparently no, Raging Steel had a clean run. So Ronnie Cochran definitely making a good account of himself. But Eric Meager and Ronnie Cochran getting together on the other end. Wow.
That was something.
Yeah, that definitely was something. But Bigfoot gets the win nonetheless. Bigfoot a 6.16. Raging Steel a 6.39. Bigfoot taking the win because he just got the better start than Raging Steel did.
Yeah. Agreed.
So Bigfoot moves on into the quarterfinals.
Very sure that was just an accident.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Once you get on the other end, you can't really put the blame on something. No, anyways, nobody's hurt. Didn't hurt anything. Nobody's hurt. Didn't hurt anybody, or didn't hurt. Nobody's hurt, or no truck is hurt. So we're gonna keep right on trucking here. Next up,
Yeah.
it'll be Gary Porter out of Wadesboro, North Carolina, in the Carolina Crusher Chevrolet 1995 Chevrolet 557 cubic inch Rodeck engine inside the Carolina Crusher. His opponent will be Mike Peterson out of Laramie, Wyoming, in the Troublemaker. And I think the winner of this one's going to be determined by the design of the trucks, Cody.
Yeah. We'll just see who makes it out on top. I'm rooting for them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Carolina Crusher's got the technological advantage. He's got a lighter truck. Troublemaker, more or less the old style truck, and I think that's going to really play a factor in this race. As the rain continues to pour down here at Pueblo, we're going to go racing. So here we go. Carolina Crusher up against the Troublemaker.
All right, let's see what they have to offer right now. Keep the wheels all on the cars.
Porter keeps it nice and low. And
on there.
Problem for the Troublemaker. What happened?
Yeah, something happened to the Troublemaker. Don't know what. We need a replay to see what it was.
Oh, he got hung up on the first set.
That was a bad bounce.
Tough break for Mike Peterson in the Troublemaker. Carolina Crusher moves on. Crusher in a groove in that lane.
Yeah.
All right, so Carolina Crusher moves on into the quarterfinals. And that could open the door for a lot of things. Monster Patrol up against Rocky Mountain Thunder up next. The big horsepower of the 575 cubic inch Keith Black Hemi of the Monster Patrol out of Portage, Indiana. 1999 Dodge Ram. Ram is the sheet metal on I shouldn't say sheet metal, is the fiberglass on this one. But he may or may not have a tough opponent here. This is our first look at him. First look at this particular truck. Nick Jackson out of Clifford, Colorado, local boy around. This is the closest he's ever going to get to home around here in the Rocky Mountain Thunder, Cody.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be interesting to see what they have to offer, especially the Rocky Mountain Thunder.
Yep. 1989 Ford for the body style of the Rocky Mountain Thunder. However, unlike a Ford engine, it is Chevrolet powered. It is powered by a 468 cubic inch big block Chevrolet.
Well, that's interesting.
Horsepower advantage should go to the Monster Patrol because it's got two because the motor on paper puts out 2,000 horsepower. But I wouldn't rule that Rocky Mountain Thunder out. Let's see. Monster Patrol and Rocky Mountain Thunder Ford versus Dodge. Chevrolet powered Ford versus Dodge, I should say.
All right, they're going.
Smooth as silk for Paul Schaefer.
Uh-oh, problem.
And Rocky Mountain Thunder didn't even get off the line.
Probably got caught up by the car somehow.
Yep. There must be something wrong with that lane because two trucks got in trouble. Oh, Rocky Mountain Thunder almost rolled it over.
He could have rolled over, but he saved it.
Luckily, he saved the truck, but that cost him the race. Monster Patrol takes the win in this one. What a run by Paul Schaefer, Cody.
That was quite the run he had. It was very smooth. Smooth as butter.
Yeah, that it certainly was.
You could spread that butter on something.
Yep. Anyways, Monster Patrol moves on. Next, all right. We go down to the last race of the first half of the first round. It'll be Robert Parker out of Kill Devil in the team based out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, in the incredible Gravedigger. Popular fan favorite, the truck coming in third in points. His opponent will be Mark Hall and the Executioner. Executioner tried to move up in the points, but in order to accomplish that, he has to beat Gravedigger right here.
Yeah.
And that is not going to be an easy task. Gravedigger drivers are known for driving really hard.
Yep, real aggressive drivers.
Even though Gravedigger's motor is only 1,400 horsepower, do not let that 1,400 horsepower fool you. He can beat anybody at any time.
He sure can.
Especially if he cuts a good light.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mark Hall out of Champaign, Illinois, the world famous Hall Brothers racing team. Everybody, a fan favorite in this industry, going up against another fan favorite, the Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina based team of the Gravedigger, driven by Robert Parker this weekend. And Parker is itching to race Mark Hall. He wants to beat him bad. Let's see if he can do it.
Yeah, let's see if he's able to.
Yep, he's got shallow cut tires, which would be the preferred tire you would run in the rain here.
Yeah.
Horsepower is not your friend on a rainy track. Robert Parker, oh man!
Oh wow!
Barely!
Oh wow!
Wow!
Wow, that was
close. That was probably one of the. less than 2/100ths of a second. That was probably the closest race we've had all year, all
That was
season.
something.
Let's look at Gravedigger's run for a minute. Gravedigger smooth as silk. And here is Executioner's run. Mark Hall gave it. I think Mark Hall had to have at least a truck length advantage if he was going to beat Gravedigger. He was not in an advantage situation. They were basically even, and Gravedigger just put him away on the final jump.
Yeah.
That last jump is 8 cars, by the way.
Yeah.
So you start, go over 2 cars, then go through no man's land, go over a stack of 8 cars, and then the finish. And Gravedigger takes the win against Mark Hall and the Executioner of Pueblo. Oh my goodness, that is going to sting Mark Hall in terms of his championship hopes. Mark Hall done for the night in round 1. Gravedigger moves on. And it came down to cutting a good light. Right, Cody?
Yeah.
All right, now we move to the other side of the ladder. A truck that is doing very, very good. This is our number 2 in points right here, Fred Schaefer out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois, in Barefoot, the Big Red Dodge. And he'll be going up against Alan Pizzo out of Brentwood, Tennessee, in the Predator.
Yeah.
And Fred Schaefer has had an up and down year. Fred Schaefer has had an up and down year so as of this point in the game on the Monster Truck Nation circuit. He won it. He came in at Union Grove, won the first day, then come in the second day, was out in round 1, ended up upside down, if I recall. You think that flip at Union Grove is on his mind?
Probably.
Well, let's see if that flip at Union Grove affected him any, as he goes up against Alan Pizzo in the Predator machine. He has detuned his motor just a little for this run because the track will just not will not hold the horsepower. Fred Schaefer, a little bit of a lead. He also made some suspension changes, I think. Predator comes across the finish line, but it doesn't matter. Barefoot has absolutely blown Predator out of the water here.
Yep.
One of the lopsided victories I think we've seen all night.
Yep.
Here's a look at Predator. Predator just bogged down at the finish line and almost got in trouble over the first set of cars. He didn't hit the cars, but he sure did hit that second ramp, and that's all that's required, at least on this particular track. And here is barefoot Fred Schaefer, smooth as silk. A 6.20 for Fred Schaefer. That's not bad. So Barefoot moves on into the quarterfinals. Next up, the Battle of the Newcomers. Cody, you still with us?
Yeah. I was just checking my messages for a second.
Anyways, the Battle of the Newcomers. Bobby Z and Monster Mutt out of Aurora, Illinois, 1951 Mercury, 500 Dan Patrick chassis, 540 cubic inch Chevrolet Merlin under the hood of this truck. And his opponent will be Brandon Harrington, a protege of Gary Porter in the Vet King, 1953 Chevy Corvette, also a Patrick chassis, and also powered by a 540 cubic inch Chevrolet Merlin engine. I think we're in for a pretty good race. Both trucks are even on paper. What do you think, Cody?
It ought to be quite a great race right there. I cannot wait to see what they have to offer right now.
Neither can I, as they detune their motors a little bit. Monster Mutt had made a suspension change. So expect him to be as competitive. Up against Brandon Harrington in the Vet King out of Wadesboro, North Carolina. Coming over the last set of cars, and it is all Monster Mutt. I think they bump heads on the other end, but it doesn't matter. Monster Mutt with the win. At least we think. Oh man. We're gonna have to. This should tell the story. Monster Mutt pulling ahead. Oh yeah, that confirms it. Monster Mutt did not win that race off the starting line. He actually won that race in no man's land, Cody.
Huh. Okay then.
Bobby Z kept it low to the ground, and that allowed him to score the win. We are 30 minutes into this session right here as we go into our last two races of round number one. John Seasock out of Frankville, Pennsylvania in the Sudden Impact. He plans to have an updated body on that truck when we go to Wildwood. And his opponent will be David Morris out of Springfield, Tennessee in the Equalizer, Cody.
That would be a great matchup between those two.
Oh, yes, that it certainly will be. Another great Ford versus Chevrolet matchup right here with Sudden Impact. taking on the equalizer of David Morris. Coming across the final set.
Wow, he advances.
Sudden Impact advances. John Cesac, if he is planning to run every event from this point forward, he may not be a championship contender because of how late he started this season, but man, he might be in the top 10 in the points before this season's over.
Probably.
And there will be a point shakeup after this weekend at Pueblo. There's Equalizer. He got in trouble over that first set.
And over that set as well. Didn't get all the tires on that one.
No disqualification there because that is all one ramp. Had he avoided the ramp, it would have DQ'd him. It was all one big, huge ramp over there. No DQs right there. So, but Sudden Impact takes the win. And John Cesac has been consistent. You know, in his very first M.T.N. appearance, which was at Union Grove, he made it all the way to the semifinals.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
He could be the Sudden Impact could be the dark horse to win here tonight. That semifinal berth at Union Grove was not a fluke, Cody.
Hey, you're right about that.
Sudden Impact could very well be the dark horse here today. Anyways, last race of round number 1, and it's up against a Ford and a Dodge, and I think one of the best Fords up against one of the best Dodges, Sky Hartley, out of the Pacific Missouri-based Bigfoot team in the Snake Bite Ford. He'll be going up against Richard Patterson and Rampage out of Madisonville, Kentucky. Your thoughts on these two, Cody?
Well, I know for one thing, only one track can prevail in the end of the race. I know for one thing, they are pretty darn amazing, and I've always enjoyed watching them growing up. So let's just see what they have to offer today.
Oh, yes. So Rampage going up against Snakebite here. Kids. All right, here we go. Snakebite, they're off. Rampage keeping it low to the ground. A major upset, Cody. The Dodge defeats the Ford.
Yeah, that was quite the upset right there. Looks like Rampage gets to go forward into the
Oh,
next round.
yes. Oh, yes. Major upset. Rampage kept it low to the ground. This blimp cam might show some things. Oh yeah, Snakebite got hung up on that first set, and Rampage took advantage of it. Rampage, your winner. Richard Patterson and Rampage moves on into the quarterfinals. But we are not done. Stay tuned, folks, for the quarterfinal round. Welcome back to Monster Truck Nation M.T.N. series. We've had a very interesting round one. What brings us to the quarterfinals, Cody?
Right. I can see it on the screen. So it looks like we have in the first round within this section here, we have Bigfoot up against Carolina Crusher. And in the second one, we are going to see Monster Patrol go up against Gravedigger. And we have Barefoot and Monster Mutt. And last but not least, Sudden Impact takes on Rampage.
So 2-4. So 3 dodges. 2 Fords, a Mercury, and a Chevrolet are in this game. In, or should I say 2 Chevrolets?
Yeah, it ought to be interesting to watch.
Yeah. Anyways, quarterfinal round action kicking off now. It'll be Eric Meager and Bigfoot. They have detuned this Ford for as much as they have as they could, I think. So he's just gonna go for broke. So Eric Meager gonna go for broke here. His opponent will be Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher out of Waynesboro, North Carolina. Cody, I think this will be a great showdown here.
Yeah, I'm very sure it will be. He has squared off many times before, even in real life, so it's ought to be a good one.
Yep, these two names have battled each other many times. And this ought to be a dandy race. On this very rainy night here at Pueblo, Crusher takes it, I think. Bigfoot 2 seconds behind. Wow.
Wow, that's something.
Major upset for the Bigfoot camp.
Yeah, and Mr. Consistency has won that round.
I don't think we need to see the replay on that one, do we? Let's look at it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bigfoot got hung up on that first set.
And then had like half of the tires on the second set of cars. Missing
Yep.
half of it.
No disqualification there since it's all one big ramp. You have to hit the ramp. At least on this particular track. And Crusher with the win. Gary Porter could be the man to beat here today. He's won on a rainy track before. Remember, one event ago it was a rainy night at Union Grove. It was a rainy day at Union Grove. Guess who took the victory in that rainy event?
Exactly.
So this weather is definitely helping Gary Porter. Next up, it'll be Paul Schaefer in the Monster Patrol going up against Robert Parker in the Grave Digger.
Great matchup, as always.
Yep.
They have done it so many times, too.
Yep. Same two iconic names, but different drivers this time around.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
Yep, it will. It most certainly will be. Anyways, here's a look at the Grave Digger. And here's a look at Monster Patrol as the two trucks stage. All right, here we go. Monster Patrol up against the Grave Digger.
And they're off.
Yep, that they are. And Robert Parker absolutely blows. Whoa!
Wow, Monster Patrol out of control for a moment.
Monster Patrol completely off course. What happened? Paul Schaefer definitely going to get disqualified. But what happened to him? Oh! Oh! He got so out of control he couldn't recover. Wow!
Big DQ, isn't it?
That is a huge DQ.
Very unfortunate.
Unfortunate for Paul Schaefer, but a great break for Robert Parker. Robert Parker continues to win. He'll advance into the semis against Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher. But wow. Oh man, Robert Parker's got to be stoked.
Indeed, he had to be.
Next up, the world famous barefoot truck. Fred Schaefer behind the wheel. The old master, Fred Schaefer. Two Illinois boys going at it here, I think. He'll be going up against a fellow Illinois fellow, Bobby Z, in the Monster Butt. Just unfortunate miscue for Paul Schaefer. He got up on two wheels, and when he got up on two, and his thoughts were all about saving the truck by then.
Yeah. There's nothing else he can do afterwards.
Yeah, once you get up on two wheels, you just got to get on the throttle and drive out of trouble. Unfortunately, that causes DQs, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, Monster Butt and Barefoot lining up here.
That'll be interesting.
It most certainly will be.
Haven't seen them race against each other before, so that's gotta be a great one here.
Yes. I think they raced each other once. I believe it was back in 2007.
In real life?
Yes.
Ow.
Fred Schaefer in the lane he certainly wants to be in.
He advances.
Not a bad debut for Bobby Z, but Fred Schaefer takes the win on this day. Oh yeah,
Guys will do it
that
to you sometimes.
yep, that slight bobble over the first set of cars is what did him in right there. So barefoot Fred Schaefer will advance. I'm going to take a look at my graphics for a minute on this game here. 3D Oh yeah, that's what.
Oh, excuse me.
That may be what I need. Then again, that may not be what I need. I don't know. It was barefoot advances against the monster butt. All right, next up will be a Ford and a Dodge. John Seasock out of Sutton Impact in the Sutton Impact out of Frackville, Pennsylvania. 572 cubic inches of Ford horsepower. A Ford SVO under the hood of this truck. His opponent will be Richard Patterson and Rampage out of Madisonville, Kentucky, 1996 Dodge Ram. 572 cubic inch Keith Black Hemi engine. Makes 1,600 horsepower. Cody, I think we're in for a good showdown here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good showdown. I can't wait to see how it goes.
Ford versus Dodge right here. So and he'll be and Sudden Impact will definitely be a threat to win. He's a threat to win anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if the weather helps him here. And Sudden Impact takes the victory.
Yeah, he gets the win now.
Rampage, I think, had problems. What happened to the Rampage? Ah,
There's your problem.
there's your problem. Just did not get a good launch off that first set, and that's what did him in.
Yeah.
And Sudden Impact, Seasock, he's smooth as silk. He's going to go to the semifinals. Oh my goodness, John Seasock has got to be stoked.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Sudden Impact moves to the finals. We got two Chevrolets, a Dodge, and a Ford in the final four. And for you, Cody, here's a look at that final four.
Ah, yes. It ought to be intense right now between these rounds.
Yep. Carolina Crusher going up against Gravedigger, and Barefoot going up against Sudden Impact. Where are the Ford? Where's the Bob Chandler Juggernaut, you say? Well, Bigfoot got knocked out by the Carolina Crusher Chevrolet in round two, and Snakebite got knocked out by Rampage in round one.
Ain't
So
that
the
unfortunate?
Yes, so Barefoot definitely going to make up some points here if he hadn't already. Anyways, here, all right, anyways, we're down to it, our semifinals. The Battle of the Carolina Boys. Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher going up against Robert Parker in the Gravedigger. Cody, I think this will be a great showdown here.
It sure will be. I've seen them race many times before against each other.
Oh, yes.
It'll be
Racing
great.
Gary Porter is no easy feat, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Watch out for Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher.
Here we go.
And coming to the last jump, it appears to be all Carolina Crusher. Crusher takes the win.
And Crush Gravedigger.
Did not get a good launch off that first set. That's what did Robert Parker in. Crusher gets the win in the semifinals. All right.
Yeah, you can do that later. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, Carolina Crusher Gary Porter goes to the finals. Who will his opponent be? Will it be Fred Schaefer? Will it be the world famous barefoot Fred Schaefer? Or John C. Socket Sudden Impact?
I need the share screen.
Oh, yeah.
Me.
Share screen should come up in just a moment.
Okay.
Hold up. Okay, there we go. Okay, my bad, Cody.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyways, Carolina Crusher goes to the finals. Who will his opponent be? Will it be Fred Schaefer and Barefoot? Or John Seasock and Sudden Impact? We're going to find out in this rainy night at Pueblo. Oh, I think. Oh, Sudden Impact cut another brilliant light.
Indeed.
12 100ths of a second. That's the closest race we've seen all day.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Oh my gosh, Fred Schaefer has to be devastated on that one.
It probably is.
John Seasock cut the light just perfect.
And gave him a run for his money, too.
I mean, that he certainly did. Sudden Impact is going into the Monster Smash final at Pueblo.
Cool.
All right, here we go. All right, here you go. Here's a look at the bracket. Here's how and this is how far we've gotten. Here's how far we've gotten. If you want to check it out, Cody.
Ah, yes. We get to see, in this particular Monster Smash final here, we're going to see Carolina Crusher take on Sudden Impact. And what a final match that's going to be.
Yes. What a final is going to be. You got the up and coming star. You got the rising star John Seasock up against the veteran Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher. I think the winner is going to be Carolina Crusher.
Yeah, we'll just see how that goes for everybody. We'll see who makes it out on top.
All right, here we go. The final race of the day. Carolina Crusher and Gary Porter going up against John Seasock in the Sudden Impact Ford Good Chevrolet versus Ford battle right here, Cody.
Indeed. It ought to be another good matchup between those two.
Not only is it a Ford versus Chevy battle, it is also a North versus South deal. John Seasock's out of Pennsylvania. Gary Porter is out of North Carolina.
That's something.
Yes. So not only is it Ford versus Chevrolet, it's North versus South.
Yeah.
Sudden Impact up against Carolina Crusher for all the marbles.
Okay, let's see what they got.
Porter in a lane that he hasn't run in all day long.
Here we go. Oh boy.
And he's going to come across the finish line, and he's going to take the win at Pueblo, Colorado. His second win in a row.
Sweet.
Cody, Gary Porter has got to be one happy man.
Yes, he ought to be. That's amazing.
His second win of the season, second in a row, actually.
Yeah.
Back-to-back wins for the Carolina Crusher. He's your champion tonight. And that will be our show, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Gary Porter for back-to-back wins on Monster Truck Nation. Your champion, Gary Porter, and the Carolina Crusher once again here on the Monster Truck Nation. On the Monster Truck Nation circuit, Gary Porter's second win of the season. Our first truck this season to do back-to-back victories. That is something, Cody.
Indeed.
All right. That will do it for tonight's episode of Monster Truck Nation. Cody, your final thoughts on tonight's activities?
Well, it was a very fun one. I just love seeing everybody race. It was a really fun time that we had today. It was totally spectacular, and congrats again to Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher for winning.
Yep. Gary Porter with back-to-back victories on the Monster Truck Nation. For Legend of We 92, I'm Tom Todd 774. Thanks for joining us for an awesome night of Monster Truck Day of Monster Truck action. We'll look for you again tomorrow on M.T.N.
Bye, everyone.